So now that we are done with the tips, I'm going to take a stab at writing a poem live for you all, with you all, to kind of show you my thought process and decisions as I try to find inspiration. And doing this live on camera, I'm not going to lie, is a little scary and daunting. So we will have to actually use all these strategies to get this done. And one topic, let me figure out how I can. Okay, cool. I wish I could change this text to not be so ugly. Here. So, one topic that is coming up is gray day. Gray day. So, that's a pretty difficult topic to write a poem about. I mean, the color gray on Neopets is like the representation of a lot of things, lofty things, especially like depression, sadness, moodiness, etc. And to get started, let me see. I sort of have an idea of how to get started. And I'm going to have some useful websites up while I write this poem. Okay, let me see if I move this over. Okay. So, one thing that I usually do when I start writing, if there's a given topic for the contest, is I will search the topic using either the Neopets wiki or I believe that there is a Jelly Neo resource as well. And this will help kind of give me some ideas. Now, if the topic is like techos, it would be great because it'll have a list of like famous techos, and I can choose, something niche to focus on. But this is a color. This theme is truly a theme, and so I kind of have an idea of where I'm going to go, but I just kind of want to walk you through, the steps I think of. So, gray is a depressive color for Neopets and pet pets. Gray pets usually have a depressed expression, even when happy, likely based on the association of the color with sadness, depression, and isolation. The another quirk is the spelling is with the E spelling versus the AY spelling. And for me as a kid, that really messed me up because I genuinely thought it was EY forever. and it's also very popular. I mean, there's the NCUC styles that came back. I guess now it's been a year ago, and there's kind of the association with the void within plot that's happening, which we still don't fully know about. Um, Jelly Neo's Pedia. There's a Jelly Neo. There's like, oh, Book of Ages. Yeah. Let's see if there's anything here. Okay. So there's obviously Baelia, the Grey Fairy herself, which a lot of people are going to write about. So I'm probably not going to write about her. There's a lot of people that know a lot of details. I mean, there's Tavi in The Void Within who cares for Baelia and rescued her from the cage originally she was captured in. But this is a topic. There is a gray loop in NeoQuest. I don't think that is a good choice. Gray Fang isn't gray. Gray Mole. Nope. Okay, so hey, challenging also because there aren't many things to talk about. So I'm going to probably talk about the color. And I've thought of an intriguing question earlier. Let me just remember. Okay, I got it. Let's make the font smaller. And let's left align. Why is everything gray? Oh, because I guess it's gray day. How do you keep the gray away? I hope that this doesn't move up every time I intend. Okay. How do you keep the gray away? So I guess the story that I'm thinking of is the idea. I think a lot of people have the idea that you have to completely keep away negative experiences, but some days are great and some days are gray. We don't get to fully appreciate the great days without having had some gray days in between. The tension between good and bad allows us to enjoy good even more, and having lower days isn't the end of the world, right? If you treat them as such, you may even have more of them, right? Life comes with its patches of positive and negative. And this is an example of a very lofty idea, right? And not being super specific. But the contest theme is this idea of gray, and that is what gray represents. So I'm going to say that there is a character. It's hard to say who they are. They could be any Neopet, I guess, and they could be any Neopian as well. And we're going to get them to the point of maybe saying something like embrace the gray. I'm also thinking that like day is an obvious rhyme. Seize the day might come up at one point. So, oops. Wait. Okay. Okay. How do you keep the gray away? So another tool, which is on the right hand side of your screen that I use all the time, is this thing called Rhyme Zone. And this is like the Bible. You can enter any word in here, even a Neopian fictitious word like tiger squash. Hit search. There are no perfect rhymes, but it'll even generate multi word rhymes for you. And sometimes you have to play with it, right? Like entire squad isn't a good rhyme. Um, Sometimes I click on the advanced mode and it shows me more, but I can search squash and at least I have the ending of something that I can maybe think of something to combine, right? So we will be using this as we write. So if I type away, that's our first word. These are some words that come up today, okay? My emotions on display. Display comes up. I'm trying to highlight it. Display right here. Play. The gray makes you not want to play, right? This has already helped me begin to decay. Cache. Okay, no. Dismay. Okay. Bouquet. Bouquet. Bucket. Dexter. There's a cat. Come here. Oh, you want to sleep? Look at this kitty. Look at this kitty. Oh, you can't quite see. Hi. Yes, yes. If you tell. We stopped the kitty in the midst of being bad. How do you keep the gray away? So now I'm going to begin thinking of like a rhyme scheme. And I think the other thing is since we're using away beyond the rhyme scheme of the end of the phrases, there's a lot of opportunity to use internal rhyme, as in rhyming in the middle of phrases, and it's maybe a little bit more of an advanced technique. So let's see, let's challenge ourselves to try and incorporate some of that. How do you keep the gray away? Sometimes I lie in my bed and lay, sulking in complete, utter dismay. When you're gray, how do you seize the day? So I guess we just did A. This might be too depressing of a poem for Neopets, but they asked for it. Okay. How do you keep the... Sometimes I lie in my bed. I lay sulking complete and utter dismay. When you're gray, how do you seize the day? Maybe we have this character reflecting on the past. I used to be sorry, had to eat a bagel. We have another cat. I used to be joyful and yellow. Kitty, kitty, kitty. Okay, yep. Come here. Daisy, what's the next line of the poem? She's like, I don't care. Here, you should sleep with your brother. Take a nap. Okay. I used to be joyful and yellow. So what rhymes with yellow? Fellow. Othello. Echo. I think I'm going to end this with the word echo. Arrow could work. Okay, I think fellow. I used to be joyful and yellow. Fair weather fellow. Now I am mellow. But now I am mellow. Uh what was the word I said I was gonna use? Oh, echo. I don't like that fair weather friend line. I used to be joyful and yellow, a fair weather fellow who would always say hello. But now those joyful days feel like an echo. A somber tune like a slow chord on the cello. Wow. Okay, sometimes you gotta lean. The other thing is this. I think the most important tip is you gotta lean into it being like you can't cringe at your own thing. You're going to cringe. You have to accept that you are going to cringe. There's a degree of cringe. That's just the state of the thing. We're cringing because we're making expression and we're kind of being exposed. Like, don't worry about it. Power through. And, you're going to be feeling these feelings sometimes. But don't let that stop you. And how do we get more space on the screen? I might have to hide the rhyme zone or scoot it over. Let's see what we can do. Yeah, maybe. I guess I only need this rhyme zone. Okay. So now our character has remembered the past. Where's the keynote? Did I just. Is it there? What? Oh, phew, it disappeared from me. Okay, let me make this a little smaller. I used to be joyful and yellow, a fair feathered fellow who would always say hello. So we had a little bit of internal rhyme. I look outside and see the other pets play. Okay, I look outside and see the other pets play. Groan, using some sort of sound there. I slump deeper, deeper into dismay. I look outside and see the other pets play. Groan, I slump sleep deeper, deeper into dismay. When did I Let's look at what else rhymes with dismay. Yes, you can still see it. Okay, good. When did I become a bouquet, decayed. I see the word hooray. I could do something hip hip hooray. Buffet. Cabernet. We can't say that on Neopets. Souffle, croquet, crochet. Blah, blah, blah. When you're jamais, that means never. Ooh, we could do a line in French. Happiness. How do I? Here, I gotta look this up on my phone, maybe. Happiness, lire. Okay, I guess this is what we're gonna do. Le bonheur, happiness, est un sentiment is an emotion que je n'ai connu jamais. Happiness is emotion that I've never known. Although, does that kind of contradict the journey we're trying to go on? Perhaps. But maybe in this next stanza, our goal is to have 5 of them. We are going to try to think of, have the character think about. Here, does this size work? 40. Okay. Duplicate. Good thing we only need 2 more. So we're running out of space. Okay. How do you keep the gray away? Sometimes I lie in my bed and lay, sulking in complete utter dismay. When you're gray, how do you seize the day? I used to be joyful and yellow, a fair weather fellow who'd always say hello. But now these joyful days feel like an echo, a somber tune like a slow chord on the cello. I look outside and see the other pets play. Grown, I slump deeper, deeper into dismay. When did I become a bouquet decayed? Le bonheur est un sentiment que je n'ai connu jamais. I mean, we could just ask another question to make the kind of turning point right here. Like, is being gray truly bad? It is an experience that we that all Neopians have. Whether okay, let's search rhymes with have. Cav. Oh my god, valves. Calves halved back class. Have. Okay, so sometimes when you search the word, it doesn't come up with real good matches. So maybe I'll just search bad and it'll give me more. And I can think about which ones apply. Sad, glad, plaid. Is plaid a color on Neopets? No. Okay, command plant. Like so as the color green changes, you're entering like the the they're just not as exact rhymes, and some of them are good, some of them are not. Lagged. I wonder if there is a Neopets color that could rhyme with bad. Let's see. List of Neopets colors. Because plaid, I don't think is one. Unless you are a chia. Okay, there's 8-bit, Aguina, Alien, Apple. Okay, I won't read all of them. Burlap. Yeah, we could do burlap. I think that works. Is being gray truly bad? It is an experience that all Neopians have. Whether you're gray or burlap, whether your color is gray or burlap, it is a feeling. Uh, okay, now that we're in burlap, we could find burlap rhymes. I'm thinking like overlap, earlap, burlapped. Yeah, overlap didn't even come up. Overlap. Hmm. Yeah, maybe we'll just say that. Sometimes, if you're struggling on a line, just get through it and then go to the next one. And you will return to it if it needs to change. Oh, look at two cats sleeping. Um, it is a feeling. Whether your color is gray, it is a feeling in which we all overlap. Okay. How do you keep, you got to reread it every single time. How do you keep the gray away? Sometimes I lie in my bed and lay, sulking in complete utter dismay. When you're gray, how do you seize the day? I used to be joyful and yellow, a fair weathered fellow who would always say hello. But now those joyful days feel like an echo, a somber tune like a slow chord on the cello. I look outside and see the other pets play. Groan, I slump deeper, deeper into dismay. When did I become a bouquet decayed, le bonheur et un sentiment que je n'ai connu jamais? Is being gray truly bad? It is an experience that all Neopians have. Whether your color is gray or burlap, it is a feeling in which we all overlap. While being gray is certainly a struggle. Okay, I'm thinking of something. Let's see how it fits in thematically. Rising above it is like figuring out a puzzle. It is certainly tough and takes a muscle. Blah, 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 blah. Double trouble. Ah, okay. How to keep the gray away. Sometimes lie in the bed of light, sulking, complete and utter dismay. When you're gray, how do you seize the day? I used to be joyful and yellow, fair and fair, like always say hello. But now those joyful days feel like an echo, a somber tune, like a slow chord on the cello. I look outside and I see the other pets play. Groan, I slump deeper, deeper into dismay. When did I become a bouquet decayed, le bon air et un sentiment que je ne connais jamais? Is being gray truly bad? It's an experience that all Neopets have. Whether your color is gray or burlap, it's a feeling which we all overlap. While being gray is certainly a struggle, rising above it is like figuring out a puzzle. It's certainly tough and it takes a muscle, but nothing. I could say snuggle, but I'm actually not sure if I could say that on Neopets. Whistle, a pistol, muzzle, muzzled, entwistle. Muscle, puzzle, struggle. Let's see, struggle. Trouble, null, funnel, funnel, fennel, rebuttal, thermocouple, antifungal, snuggled, snuggled. Wow, the shade of green right here is so light. I was like, am I imagining it? Muggle. Hmm. Okay, let's just search puzzle, see if even more things come up. Hustle, rustle, Brussels. Smuggle. I could say like embrace the gray. It's not a feeling to muzzle. Throw it in your duffel. Oh, bundle, undle, bundle, couple. Okay, those are some more words. Bundle, trundle, tunnel, muddle, crumble, crumble, subtle, fumble, mumble, grumble, stumble, jumble, jungle. But you'll navigate your way through the gray jungle. Uh, so this kind of changed from what we intended to say at the beginning. But by having an idea of the beginning, middle, and end, it kind of helped us find our way. And we got to the end, right? I mean, we kind of wrote this in maybe 20 minutes or so. Um, and I think I have a week before the contest, so I may even change it. But, my idea at the beginning was uh, someone struggling to to maybe push the gray away. And my idea was, hey, sometimes we can embrace the gray. We go through these moments. We'll face the gray moments when we do. And it is okay to be having moments where you're maybe chilling by yourself and getting all cozy, right? But I think this kind of changed. So, first, how do you keep the gray away? Sometimes I lie in my bed and lay, sulking in complete utter dismay. When you're gray, how do you seize the day? So the character starts off sulking in the room. They remember in the next stanza, I used to be joyful and yellow, a fair weather fellow who would always say hello. But now these joyful days feel like an echo, a somber tune, like a slow chord on the cello. Now they are looking and longing for something further. I look outside and see other pets play, groan. I slump deeper, deeper into dismay. When did I become a bouquet? Decayed, le bonheur est un sentiment que je n'ai connu jamais. Is being gray truly bad? It is an experience that all Neopians have. Whether your color is gray or burlap, it's a feeling in which we all overlap. Okay. While being gray is certainly a struggle, Rising above it is like figuring out a puzzle. It is certainly tough and it takes a muscle, but you'll navigate your way through the gray jungle. It should navigate your way through the gray jungle. Okay, maybe I add a sixth stanza. The next time, with time, okay, maybe I'll say this. You'll eventually find your way through the gray jungle. The next time you're having a bad day, the next time you fall under the curse of gray, don't fret. Okay, curse of gray. I kind of want to say way, but I just did that. Don't fret. Okay. And then maybe cozy up, embrace the gray, and embrace the gray to seize the day. So you kind of have that uh, circular theme from the first stanza. So that final one is nowhere near done yet. Okay, so the next time. Mm, bagel. Okay, let's find some more words. We could use the word cliche. Don't fret. Pardon the cliche. The next time joy is being kept at bay, the next time you fall under the curse of gray, don't fret, pardon the cliche, cozy up and embrace the gray to seize the day. So there we go. Wow, gray day. Very difficult topic to write about, but we did it. Okay. And what helped us get past all of the uncertainty in writing a poem about something, pretty serious was the techniques that we had to kind of fall back on. Like just the act of trying to keep up with the rhyme scheme helped us come up with words that can kind of get us through the tougher sections of this piece. And in the end, we have something, right? Like, I think, is any poem going to be perfect? I mean, this is Neopets poetry, right? Like, there are amazing poets out there, and the standard is high, but the standard is also not high. Like, many different levels are accepted into the contest, and you're only going to improve if you keep writing, right? So I think this brings us to the end of this guide. We have not only reviewed the tips for the poetry contest, but we also, wrote a poem live, which for me was just a nuts experience. I, had a bit of a stage fright, leading into it. But um, again, if you look at the art gallery video, which I posted last week on both YouTube and Twitch, you will find even more tips about, how to keep up with the contests and how to build kind of like a healthy relationship with the contests, how to build a habit of, regularly writing and creating content for the contest. So I highly suggest that you check that out, especially if you've watched this video. And, if you enjoyed either video, I would really appreciate it if you drop a like and subscribe. I am trying to get to 50 subscribers on Twitch, especially, so that I can reach affiliate status. So, your like will go a long way. Now, in terms of, now that we've done an art gallery guide and we've done a poetry contest guide, I think that I am going to, I put it on the schedule, do a regular, I think, Sunday live, some sort of creating kind of stream. Probably, given that it's Sunday and I have more time to devote, I'll probably do more arts and crafts then. Since poetry can be done in a shorter amount of time, I might, figure out another day in the week for that. But, if you want to join me, maybe you're working on projects, we can work on them together, and it will be a blast. So until next time, peace. Well, toodles. Bye.